Hey, have you ever seen what Iran looked like in the 70s?
It's simple. It looked a lot like your country. At that time, you could dance, sing, go clubbing, drink alcohol, dress as you wanted, travel without a visa. Education was public and secular.
For 44 years, this ultra-modern Iranian population has been held hostage by a backward, obscurantist and terrorist regime. The rise of extremism in the whole West has shown that no country is safe from such a tragedy.
Our freedoms are as precious as they are fragile. That is why the fight of Iranian people is a fight that is global.
It opposes two groups. On one hand, the secularized and modern Iranian people, 70% of whom are under 35 years old, with a higher level of education than the Western high average, with more women than men in universities, and the overwhelming majority of whom is very connected to the internet, since 95% of the Iranian territory gives access to it, and Farsi is the 9th most used language on social media.
On the other hand, this terrorist Islamic regime, made of corrupt religious fanatics, who think they're representatives of God on earth, that a woman's life is worth half that of a man, and that any opposition to their extremist propaganda must be met with violent repression, torture, and the death penalty.
This is how, since September 16th, 2022, the regime's repression has resulted in more than 20,000 prisoners whose average age is 16. Already 4 executions by hanging in public space and 500 people murdered by the regime, including 80 children.
In addition to taking the Iranian population hostage, this terrorist regime has worked for years to spread its ideology throughout the Middle East, sowing chaos everywhere it goes.
Hezbollah in Lebanon, troops of Bashar al-Assad in Syria, Shiite militias in Iraq, Houthis in Yemen, drones sent by Russia on Ukrainian civilian targets. The Islamic regime is behind all of this.
And its influence, which has already arrived at the gates of Europe, risks growing further, since it is a few months away from accessing the nuclear weapon.
We must act now. This is how the Islamic regime is organized. In the West, we have heard a lot about the morality police. In reality, it has never been abolished. And as you can see, it is at the very bottom of the scale, without any real political power.
In contrast, the Revolutionary Guards organ, which is less talked about, is today the spearhead of the regime's foreign policy. It controls access to information technology. It's at the heart of nuclear strategy and hydrocarbons economy.
It also spearheads the bloody repression faced by the Iranian people. This body must be targeted and paralyzed.
How? By bringing the European Council to include it on the list of the terrorist groups of the European Union. In our Instagram bio and our Facebook page, we are Iranian students. You will find a link that will allow you to act with one click. You will be able to write to your elected officials, sign petitions, get informed on the next demonstrations, and share news about Iran.
These actions may seem pointless to you, but this is how anyone can exercise their citizenship to put pressure on their elected officials so that this decision is taken as quickly as possible. Those actions have proven themselves in recent months, and they will only be more powerful if we all act together. This is our fight, women, life, freedom.
برای زندانیان سیاسی.
Pour les femmes.
Pela liberdade.
Pour cette culture qui m'a ouvert ses bras.
Özgürlük için.
Pour faire découvrir l'Iran libre à mon fils.
For being the voice of Iranian women and men in Western countries.
Pour toutes les femmes du monde.
برای این همه برای.
Pour les familles endeuillées.
Per fare festa liberamente.
Pour l'espoir et l'avenir de la jeunesse iranienne.
Para que la poesía de este país florezca sin cadenas.
برای مغزای پوسیده.
Por la libertad.
برای شیرزنا و شیرمردای با شرفمون.